Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. Time to turn to politics, as promised. More specifically, the presidential election, which is now less than 2 weeks away. Polls have former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris in a dead heat. So with that said, I took the opportunity to appear on Hannity on Fox News to discuss the state of affairs on the campaign trail. Hannity, as always, challenged me on Kamala Harris and her knowledge of President Biden's mental state during his re-election campaign. Here's how I responded. Take a listen.
I know you're not talking about somebody being lucid and cogent and enunciating their thoughts with clarity, and you're bragging about Donald Trump. We can't be watching the same stuff if that's what you're doing. You ain't going to do that today.
You know
now,
what?
Lindsey Graham, hold it. Now, Senator Lindsey Graham is about to come on this show.
Let me tell you
now,
something.
that man can articulate himself very well. Not Donald Trump now.
I have sat with him for hour after hour after hour, topic after topic after topic, and he is so dialed in. Really? Look, you know, it's funny. People try. This is like the latest argument. And meanwhile, your friends in the Democratic Party, they ignored the obvious, significant, deep cognitive decline of the president for over 4 years. I said it before the 2020 election. Kamala to this day say, oh, Joe was really cognitively alert. You know that's a crock. I know that's a crock.
What is she supposed to say, Sean?
Knows it's a crock. Not Donald Trump.
Sean, what is it? Hold on. What is she supposed to say? She's supposed to sit up there and say, you know what, my president, my boss.
Truth.
I mean, there was cognitive decline there. No, you're not. No, you don't do that.
Show?
You don't dime out your boss. You don't. I do tell the truth on my show, but guess what? So I said I do. What I said, however, is that I'm not going to dime out my boss if that's my boss. Go ahead.
Whoa, hang on a second. You know what? I have never watched you hold back. You say what you mean. You mean what you say. That's my point. She is. But she knew he was a cognitive mess, and now she's lying. Oh no, I never noticed it. It's a
Sean,
it's a lie.
Because Sean, what
Just
you're trying
admit
to
it's a lie.
Because what people. But because listen, I personally, a year earlier, I was saying there's slippage, there's something that ain't there. He ain't going to make it to the election. Y'all better get with the program, do something about it. I was on the record about Joe Biden, but I'm not a part of the Biden administration. And if I was a part of the Biden administration, I wouldn't have told you that. That's number one. Number two, she's the candidate now. You got to run against her. Are you going to beat her, Sean? Are you going to beat her? Are you going to beat her?
It's straight up. The American people.
Are you as confident as you were months ago?
The biggest choice election in a lifetime.
I see some slippage on his part.
Stephen A.
That was something else. First of all, I barely got a few words, and I tried. I was fighting, because that's Hannity. That's just what he's going to do. Here's the deal. It's a couple of things, and I'm going to preface my comments by saying, as always, me being a registered independent that I am, there are some things the conservatives are about to hear that they ain't going to like. There's also some things that the liberals are going to hear that they ain't going to like. Let me get a portion anyway of what the liberals ain't going to want to hear. Sean Hannity is my friend. Get the hell over it. I'm talking about people in my personal life. I'm talking about people that work with me. Hell, I might be talking about people that work for me. I don't give a shit. No one dictates who my friends are. When I sat up there and I had my struggles and I was thrown out like yesterday's bathwater and my career was in shambles, Sean Hannity was a friend. I do not agree with his politics, pretty much at all. I think he's off his damn rocker half the time, okay? But he's my friend. We get along very, very well. And that's the way it's been. And damn it, that's the way it's going to stay. While I'm at it, let me get this out the way. The same applies to Mark Levin. Get the hell over it. No one gets to tell me how to think. No one gets to tell me who the hell my friends are. Y'all can kiss my you-know-what. We going to get that out the way right now. I don't give a damn who it is. Okay? There are plenty of people we work with, we work for, who work with us, for us, who are our friends, who are our family members, and the whole bit that don't think like we think. Stop acting like that's new. I'm from the streets of New York City, Hollis, Queens. And I can tell you right now, without seeing half of them in years and seeing the other half, some of them gonna vote for Trump. I'm supposed to say they ain't my boys? Really? I'm not voting for them. I'm not voting for them. I'm supposed to disown my friends because they are? I am a person who's pro-life as opposed to pro-choice. But I don't believe in telling a woman what to do with her body. Therefore, I'm pro-choice because I'm always going to support a woman's right to navigate her own body and her own decisions. I'm riding to the end with ladies on that. There are some people who won't. I'm supposed to sit there and say, they're not family no more. They're not friends. One of them was my mama. God rest her soul. She was pro-life. She wasn't pro-choice. If she were alive today and that was her position, I'm supposed to disown her? What's wrong with y'all? The hell is wrong with y'all? This notion right now, when you're on the left, that, oh my God, you got to turn in your black card. If you're a black person and you don't completely, unadulteratedly support Kamala Harris, why? I do support her. Primarily because it's either her or Trump. And I'll be damned if I'm supporting him. Well, what's her record? You trying to tell me when you watched at the town hall last night on CNN, she operated and conducted herself? That's right. Look at me, Michael. Was she flawless in her performance on the town hall? David Axelrod is a political pundit for CNN who headed the Obama campaign. He wasn't enamored with her choices. He wasn't enamored with her performance, rather. He didn't like her position on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. He didn't like her position on immigration. He didn't like the way she has articulated herself about the economy. There are questions. That's CNN. He's supposed to ignore it. Van Jones, he was supposed to ignore it. Dana Bash, she's supposed to ignore it. Fareed Zakaria, when he come on this Sunday, he's supposed to ignore it? What is he supposed to do? So Kamala Harris can run around and you can do all the interviews, acting like one after another is a rally. Go ahead, knock yourself out. I'd love to interview her. I doubt it'll happen. I'd love to interview Obama. Oh, would I love to interview him? I doubt it'll happen. Don't think I didn't ask. But it's a different ball game when you sit across from your boy. A little bit different. I support Kamala Harris. I support a woman's right to choose. I don't support children being separated from their parents like Trump did under his administration as it pertained to immigrants coming in here illegally. I get all that. I said I support the woman. I didn't have to do that. But that doesn't mean that everything she does I'm going to agree with, because I don't. So let me get that out the way. Back to Sean Hannity, my buddy. I feel sorry for that man. Because your boy Trump, there's some slippage. You ain't talking about that, are you? You ain't talking about that at all. I don't ever want to hear another word about Joe Biden's cogency and his cognitive decline. Have you seen Trump? Have you seen him trying to sing? Have you seen him dancing for 30 minutes? Have you seen him rambling on and on? Did you see him talking about Arnold Palmer? Oh, I love women. I love women. But he was a man's man. You understand? When he got out of the shower, the men there say, oh my goodness. All over the place. What that got to do with policy? What that got to do with politics? What that got to do with Kamala Harris? Speaking of Kamala Harris, you think I appreciate the fact that he's talking about that black woman that way? Calling her dumb? She is a graduate of an HBCU. She is a lawyer by trade and profession. She is a former attorney. She is a former state attorney general. She is a former senator of the United States who is now the vice president of the United States of America. And by the way, to our knowledge, she didn't file for bankruptcy about 6, 7, or 8 times. Who the hell do you think you are? Using the word retarded to disrespect our sister like that? Hell no. Hell to the no. Okay? If you are so successful stand on yours, stand on your policies. Donald Trump. Stand on what you offer America compared to what she offers America. You want to call her a radical? That's fair game. You want to get on her about policies involving immigration or the war between Russia and the Ukraine and how ill-effective you think she may have been? Or the economic policies of the Biden administration that's allowed inflation to ravage our economy? Going away and it threatening to come back. You want to use those as an argument and say times were better under you, even though the national deficit went up big time to about 35 trillion under your watch, but that's neither here nor there. You want to make those arguments against her? Fine. You don't disrespect our sisters, bro. You don't do that. You don't do that. And to me, when Barack Obama spoke to those black men and he talked to the black men about the need to support the sister, that's something he should have brought up. As opposed to accusing folks of engaging in misogyny as to why they wouldn't support her. Reverse that bad boy. Just say, you see how she talk about your sister? So how you think he talking about you? That would have been an argument to go with. See, when Sean Hannity and I were on the air last night, because the man knows politics more than me. He does it for a living. He's been doing it for over 30 years. He's a master narrator. No question about it. But you see, at some point in time, and here's where I get to the part about the conservatives and how y'all going to have to live with this reality. Y'all acting like it's easy to support Trump. No, it ain't. You know better. How you feeling about the fact that you didn't support DeSantis? How you feeling about the fact that you didn't support Nikki Haley or Governor Chris Christie, even Vivek Ramaswamy? How you feeling about that right now? How you feeling about that right now? Or back in the day when you didn't support Kasich. You see, people with conservative principles, but have decorum and class and know how to act like they have common sense and isn't threatening to shred the Constitution, okay, and doesn't violate every tenet that conservatives lived by for decades until he came along, your case would have been more profound. But when we talk about people flip-flopping, like Kamala Harris is flip-flopped on fracking, because yes, Anderson Cooper asked about it and I wasn't satisfied with her answer. Or you're talking about the border wall and all of this other stuff and talking about how you only built like 2% of it when actually it was significantly more, according to the fact checkers on CNN. While you can make that case, okay, about flip-flopping against Kamala Harris, what has Trump done? And who has flip-flopped more than conservatives? I am a Megyn Kelly fan. I ain't apologizing for that either. I'm a Megyn Kelly fan. I'm friends with Hannity and Mark Levin. Okay? I know plenty of conservatives. Obviously, I'm friends with Will Cain. That's my man right there. Don't agree with him most of the time. I'm talking about a core decency about people. But to the conservatives out there, who's flip-flopped more than y'all? Once upon a time, y'all cared about adultery. Don't matter. Once upon a time, you cared about fornication. Don't matter with this candidate. You cared about honesty and integrity, particularly with caring about the American citizen in a free market society and honoring your financial commitments. Man filing for bankruptcy. Religion mattered to you. Episcopalians and others. You sure that's the candidate you want best represent you? Y'all said yes. For years and years and years, spanning decades, conservatives lived by tenets that Donald Trump paid no attention to, didn't give a damn about, and flaunted in so doing. And now he's your guy. And if you lose this election, it'll likely be because you backed the wrong horse. Because I got news for you. I think Nikki Haley would have beaten Kamala Harris. Ron DeSantis, if it wasn't for him trying to justify the positive elements of slavery, I think he would have beat Kamala Harris. But y'all backed the wrong horse. And nobody's talking about that. Now, that's if you lose. It's still possible you can win. It's a tight race. It's up for grabs. But I think you backed the wrong horse. And I think conservatives will come across as individuals who have flip-flopped, dare I say. So when you want to sit up there and go at Kamala Harris for what she may have done, all Stephen A. was trying to say on Sean Hannity's show was, folks in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. You feel me? I know you do. I know you do. But I enjoyed it. I really did. And I'm looking forward to being on with him sometime again in the near future. And he's promised to come on this show as well. So it's going to be entertaining. Make no mistake about that. But let's also make sure we understand. There is absolutely, positively nothing from a character standpoint that you can accuse Kamala Harris about that you can't accuse Donald Trump about. With the exception of her not diming out her boss. The cognitive decline that I swore I saw a year ago. What the hell is she supposed to admit? Yeah, that was my boss. There was cognitive decline. What's he supposed to do? She can't say anything, and you know it. You're reaching. Sean was reaching last night. But I understood. I know the man, so I saw it coming. It was a lot of fun. Looking forward to going back. Yes, I am.